If you're a Nebraska Cornhusker fan, you saw that spring game yesterday. You saw Dylan Raiola flicking the wrist downfield, being in shady pharmacist mode, just dealing the pill all over the place, and you felt a certain way about your chances in 2024. We'll unpack that together right now. But first things first, make sure you're subscribed, Nebraska fans. I think y'all are probably, if not the most subscribed fan base, in that top two for the most subscribed fan base to this channel. So the bottom line here is we're going to supply what you're demanding for. If you're new to this show, you're new to this channel, make sure you're subscribed. We talk ball every single day. We talk college football every single day on this show, The Hard Count. We're on podcast. We're live 3 times a week on this channel, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Just make sure you're dialed in. All I'm asking, make sure you're dialed in and follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, at JDPakel. Dylan Raiola is going to start for you next year. Not game 6, not at some point in November. Dylan Raiola is your starting quarterback. Okay, now that hasn't been announced. That hasn't been told to me by anybody that he's going to be the guy, but like we all have eyeballs. We all saw what happened yesterday in that spring game. We saw Dylan Raiola pushing the ball downfield, just dropping it in a bucket, just boom, Jalen Lloyd. We saw him dissecting the defense. We saw the way it popped out of his hand when he was throwing the quick game. Like, he's different. He's different than anything else you have on that roster. He's different than anyone else you have in that quarterback room. And that's not me speaking ill of any other quarterback in that room. I think Daniel Kalen's a great player. I think Heinrich Haarberg showed you he's going to compete for this job and battle for this job. But the thing with Dylan Raiola is, to me, he is just a ceiling changer. He's a ceiling changer. What you can be offensively in 2024 is vastly different because of number 15 playing quarterback for you, because of the arm talent, and because of his ability to fit it in tight windows. Because what we saw yesterday, I believe, was a higher percentage of layups made at the quarterback position at Nebraska. Something you didn't see a lot of last year. Again, I'm not trying to dunk on anybody, but the facts are the facts, man. As a team, Nebraska's completion percentage was 52%. As a team, Nebraska did not have a quarterback that threw more touchdowns than interceptions. Heinrich Haarberg had the best ratio of 7 touchdowns, 7 INTs. Still not enough to win the football games you want to win, and also still not enough for Nebraska to get over the hump in some of those one-score games. As a team, I'm not just pointing at the quarterback, but I am saying at the most important position on the field now, Nebraska, I believe, has a pretty sizable upgrade. Because you saw Dylan Raiola, and was he perfect? No, but you saw him do a lot of things that got you excited. You saw a lot of things that just looked different than anything else you've seen at the quarterback position there in a minute. And you start rethinking how last year went. I have to believe. As a team, Nebraska averaged 18 points a game. Had 5 one-score losses. And all 5 of those one-score losses, Nebraska did not score 20 points. Okay, so offensively, they were anemic in a lot of ways. And the defense did their end of the deal, right? Like, the defense was one of the best in the country if we're looking at the stats. Dylan Raiola adds another gear to your offense, and in that way adds another gear to what your team can be. Okay, so you can win different kind of games with him playing quarterback for you. It's also important to mention here, though, with Dylan Raiola playing quarterback for you, they're not changing who they are offensively. They're still going to run the football. They're still going to want to win the line of scrimmage. They're still going to want to play game control and field position, all those things, but they're going to, I think, have a different method offensively with him playing quarterback, different opportunities offensively with him playing quarterback, with them being able to make defenses pay. But like what they're going to ask Dylan Raiola to do playing quarterback next season is not wildly different than what they've asked their quarterbacks to do in the past. We're not asking him to put the cape on and be Superman every single Saturday as a true freshman. That's just, it's not responsible. It's not winning football. And Matt Rhule understands that. What they will ask him to do, though, is a couple of things. One, be efficient. What I just said, make your layups. All right, when we got quick game and we got somebody open in the flat, put it on him. When we got somebody over the middle, behind that linebacker, there's a window, put it on him. Like, it's not next level NFL quarterback play. That'd be nice. Let's get there at some point, but in 2024, make your layups. They didn't last year. I think Dylan Raiola will make them at a higher percentage this upcoming season. Will he be perfect? No, he's a true freshman. He's going to have true freshman moments. But even so, he makes more layups, I think you win more ball games. Pretty straightforward. Other part of that is run the show. You don't have to be Pat Mahomes, even though that's kind of the comp everyone's giving to him because he wears number 15 and he works out with him and he has those arm angles. Run the show. Operate within the system, within the structure. Just what I said. Hit the open shot, hit the open layup, get the ball to the right people, make it all happen on schedule. That's how Nebraska needs to operate. And if they operate that way, the defense and the run game is good enough to make them successful in 2024. Now, this is the big game changer with Dylan Raiola, and this is why I think he is your starting quarterback. Cash in when there's money on the table. Cash in when those safeties creep up and they're tired of you getting 4 yards a carry and tired of you running for 175 yards a game in 2023. When you're able to have open shots downfield, make them pay. And Dylan Raiola, with his arm talent, you saw him do that yesterday. You saw that. It's there, and that's real. It's not just a one-off like everything we had heard about him behind closed doors. You saw it come to fruition yesterday in the spring game. Here's the other part, though, with Dylan Raiola. As we move into 2024 and you, I think, eventually name him the starting quarterback before game one, this is important to mention. You commit to Dylan Raiola for better or for worse. When you're a true freshman, there is so much that you are trying to get up to speed with. And Dylan Raiola did not look like a true freshman, just so we're on the same page. But at the same time, like, you are trying to manage so many things. The last thing you want to think about, the last thing that would be beneficial to think about is, am I going to get pulled here? Am I going to get benched here? That can't be in his framework when he's trying to play quarterback for Nebraska in 2024. You ride with him with the ups. There's going to be some inevitable downs as a true freshman. We understand that. You rock with him. You let him know you got his back. Now, with that being said, I think Heinrich Haarberg needs to have a role. And I said in the previous video, is that him playing H-back because he's a good enough athlete to do that? Is that him having certain packages during the week? We got 3rd and 1. Heinrich, you're in the game. We're going a little Heinrich Haarberg student body, right? I would love that. I thought he showed you he is good enough to play football for you at Nebraska. He needs to have a role. And Matt Rhule said it post-game too. He's like, with how long this season is, we're probably going to need 3 quarterbacks to be able to help us at any point in time. But the fact remains the same. You have your quarterback, you ride with him. You empower him, you let him know it's his offense, it's his team, it's his car. You drive. All right, we're not backseat driving. We don't have somebody sitting shotgun that we're going to pull over and tell him to hand the keys to in a couple of minutes if he makes a poor throw here, interception here. You ride with him. And I think if you do that, the ceiling for Nebraska is vastly different than I think it has been in previous years. There's probably a certain sense of, golly, do we want to get our hopes up again with how many times we've been hurt if we're a Nebraska fan? I understand that. But looking at what happened last year and all the areas and all the ways you were deficient in 2023, 18 points a game, 5 one-score losses, 52% completion percentage as a team was Nebraska. You copy and paste Dylan Raiola's performance from yesterday. How many games is Nebraska winning? I don't know, but they're a bowl team and they're a pain for everyone else on their schedule when they have to play them. Because of their physicality, because of what they do defensively, because of how they run the football, and now you add in just a capable, efficient quarterback into that equation, Nebraska's going to be a problem. And that would be very typical of a Matt Rhule team to take a jump from year 1 to year 2, and then 2 to 3 is a whole other discussion, but I think this team is further advanced than previous year 1 Matt Rhule rosters. And I think the culture and the buying, you see it from who's not hitting the portal. They have a lot of that too, which is going to serve them well and going to ultimately serve Dylan Raiola well. So you got your guy. I'm going to go ahead and just start the coronation right now. He will be your starting quarterback game 1. Mark my words. Dylan Raiola, to me, is the guy in Lincoln, and I cannot wait to watch what he does his first year as the guy out there at Nebraska. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you think this is just completely off base. Regardless, we appreciate y'all being a part of this, man. Take the mic, this college football community. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.